what if I lose all of it? What if I'm saying I'm going to go all in on Echo right now, and then Dobob wins, and I'm like, okay, I got nothing.
It's all right. Well, get those channel points in, Sid, before this starts. In the meantime, it's Echo versus Dobob kicking off game number 1.
All right, Brunhitty is a new addition to this team, also on the side of Dobob for Trimaz last time, and Brunhitty is an expert at those melee DPS. He can easily go toe-to-toe with Waz, and it's going to be a Rogue Mage Priest mirror with Fire Mages, and that specialization can do a truck ton of damage as Sun Fury right now. It has a huge combustion window into a hyperthermia window where you're just lobbing infinite pyroblasts at your target, but the trade-off is that you can be quite fragile, so I am curious to see how these teams manage to keep their mages aggressive in this explosive matchup.
Yeah, I'm so surprised to see these two comps locked in right now. No Destruction Warlock's going to be played here, and this is actually kind of a good matchup. Like you mentioned, Brunhitty coming in instead of Trimaz, and Brunhitty also former teammate of JT, so kind of old teammates facing off against each other here in this mirror match. And so far, Raikou leading the damage, but we're also seeing Brunhitty on that Outlaw specialization doing some work as well over Waz. So first Ice Wall comes through, but JT manages to get the right side of the wall, take some damage, and nice fade there. You see that Relza fade? He fades the cheap shots from Waz and then gets a fear on him to install that setup. But here comes the polymorph from Raikou. Nice counterspell by Tessia. And so far, on the side of Dobob, they shut down Echo's setup, so now they have a moment here where they can potentially grab a new setup, but they're just going to go with the blind instead on the side of Echo. Waz leading the charge. He gets sheep shotted into a full sheep. Tessia gets counterspelled there as well. And he get the Ring of Frost. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get in range to send that onto JT. So both priests doing a phenomenal job, just trying to stay out of crowd control and just spamming damage here onto the mages. Killing spree coming out from Waz. Doing some damage there, but Raikou also getting blasted. Huge damage coming out onto Raikou, and Brunhitty there managing to pull some big cooldowns with that adrenaline rush.
Yeah, so Killing Spree got a rework in this season, and it's now this cone effect of blasting shotguns, basically, and it does a lot more damage. It's not Tickle Spree anymore. It's going to be a very scary cooldown that you need to be either controlling or trading for, otherwise you're going to be falling behind pretty rapidly. Blind available for Brunhitty. That's a big moment here. They want to try and pull the medallion from JT, but Waz gets a kidney shot first, which means Tessia could be in trouble. Held in place by a gouge, but Waz got cheap shot and peeled away. He's not able to get to the target just yet. JT into a Dragon's Breath. Does he get the polymorph? Isn't able to get the polymorph. Waz dismantles Brunhitty. Tessia gets counterspelled. Ice Wall on the Angel. JT immediately mass dispels. Goes for Divine Him. His team's going to be stable. This is Combustion from Raikou. A scary moment for Tessia. He greater invises at critically low health. Manages to stall to hold on to his Combustion. Now he's turning it around. He's heating things up. Combustion is up for Tessia. They swap on Waz, looking to poke onto a different target here. These are the Titans of the tournament, the Titans of the European region, going head-to-head for the first time in the final season. And Echo, they want to win 3 of these championships in a row. They want to try and get the hat trick, and can Dobob prevent them?
Yeah, that is the question. So far, I am not feeling too confident about my prediction. Full blind coming out onto JT. Relza managing to pop that Apotheosis to reset some of his cooldowns. Raikou is going to be completely fine. JT ending up to trinket in that chain, so they do get JT's trinket, and so far I feel like both mages haven't been able to land too much crowd control onto the enemy healers. It's been just mostly about pumping out damage onto each other and then shutting each other's setups down. But here comes Waz trying to get a setup, actually gets the trinket from Relza right there with his own blind. So both priests down a trinket right now. Big combustion from both mages. It's a bit of a race to the finish. They proc the cauterize. They do proc the cauterize. They get the ice block on the side of Echo. They get the full, they get the first ice block from that mage. So Echo now with a pretty decent lead in the matchup.
And Raikou doesn't have his block. He's 50 seconds away from it, so maybe there's a shot. Relza has no trinket, though. If he gets crowd controlled, Raikou is low. Oh, JT has no trinket. I still think anyone can take it at this point. Next big window of damage is going to likely decide it, and Raikou's getting closer to it right now with Combustion. Smoke Bomb also available on both sides. Here comes the engagement from Brunhitty. Can Waz peel them away? He gouges Brunhitty. He's trying to get control, but Tessia fakes the interrupt. He smoke bombs the poly. Waz smoke bombs Tessia, so he can't polymorph the healer. That likely could have been game over if Waz didn't do that right there. Now he's turning it around on Tessia with multiple cheap shots, holding him in place, looking to go for the win. They need crowd control on Relza, though. Tessia's faking tons of interrupt. Waz grapples over, gets a cheap shot for Raikou. Ring of Frost connects. He's swapping on. No, but Waz gets intercepted by Brunhitty. Tessia, he's behind the pillar. He's playing Blink Stun, but he opted to blink out of line of sight just to try and make sure he couldn't get stunned when his healer was crowd controlled. Dragon's Breath Polymorph around the corner. Nice positioning there. Into a Frost Nova. Really trying to hold Waz down. He cloaks to stay on target. Raiku's block came off cooldown now. He's going to play with confidence. Combustion into Combustion. They're tearing into each other right now. They blind Raikou. They're desperate, but the blind looks like it ends up breaking. And Tessia is so far behind right now.
Yeah, this is not looking too good. I didn't even notice that Raikou ice blocked previously in the match, but he's got it back up. He might actually have to use it right now. The killing spree coming through, doing some work here for Brunhilde, and they get the ice block. Oh, that's a cool one they want. Relza trinkets out of a blind. JT gets fully polymorphed here. Big pressure onto Raikou right now, but Raikou is doing a great job there. Fake casting the interrupt and spamming out the polymorph to try to stall the damage in that position. And I think he's managed to do it. JT is out of crowd control right now. Should be able to recover Raikou. Nice ice wall coming out there, isolating for a second. Killing spree now onto Tessia. Waz gets polymorphed on his killing spree, gets polymorphed onto the Dispel, and there's that third DR polymorph coming out as well. Not going to be available in midnight, but for now it is going to be there. And Relza in a cheap shot. Raikou looking for the polymorph, not able to find it. Tessia very patient there with his counterspell, just holding it there because he knows if he gets fake casted right there, Raikou can extend the chain with a Dragon's Breath and then for sure get the polymorph out of that during that precognition window. So both mages kind of playing a mind game here of who can kind of mind game the other one. Because if you do land that counterspell, then you can Waz. Okay, Trinket. That's going to be the Void Shift as well. Big swap there onto Waz. 31% dampening. Anybody can die at this point in the game, Sid.
But Tessia's got block coming back. They're actually in a position where they can win. No trinket on Raikou, no trinket on Waz. They can get triple crowd control, and they can actually close this out. Brunhilde needs to be a bit careful as we're getting into the later stages of the match as the rogues are looking more vulnerable. Here's the cheap shot. Tessia, block just came off cooldown, and he is able to press it. Where's the Master Spell? Master Spell hits, but he life swaps before any damage can finish him. And now JT in a cheap shot. Polymorph is landed. Tessia fakes the kick. Raiku's likely going to have to go into a block here pretty soon if he gets more crowd control. He gets stopped on the Ring of Frost with a kidney shot, but Raikou is still low. Is it enough damage? Not enough to push Raikou over to proc him. Mana is looking slim on both sides right now. JT is struggling to keep him even stable at this point. He might just die to damage, it looks like, at this point. No crowd control on JT, but 0 mana remains. Waz grapples over, but he gets chastised, feared on his grapple. He can't connect the cheap shot just yet. He's finally there, but Brunhilde matches Waz with the kidney shot. He can't get any momentum off this. Relza's in a great position. Raikou is getting toppled. He's going to get his Cauterized proc at any moment. He blocks prior to it. Relza Master Spells it, and now Raikou is completely exposed. I can't believe it. It's a race to the finish. Tessia is low as well, but Raiku's at 1%. Cauterized about to trigger. Brunhilde grapples in to try and close it, but JT denies it. Raikou fakes the kick. Brunhilde line of sights the polymorph. He tries to go again, but he can't get it. He's falling behind the pillar. No trinket. Tessia in trouble. Here comes Combustion. Raiku's pushing for the win, but Tessia is behind the pillar, and Raikou can't get there. He's just trying to make his way around the corner. Finally able to get in the line of sight, but Waz is in the cheap shot. No trinket. No cooldowns. Is the swap on Waz going to be enough? Is Tessia going to fall first? It's coming down to the finish at this point.
Oh my goodness, Relza actually had to trinket through there and he got CC'd on his trinket, but it might not matter. Raikou with basically nothing left. Can they keep Tessia alive for a little bit longer? Relza once again still has a little bit of mana to work with. Big swap here onto Brunhilde with the smoke bomb, but the Guardian Angel is there. It should block it. Defensive smoke bomb as well coming out there onto Brunhilde. He's going to be able to survive. Relza now has no mana left. They have Combustion coming up in 3 seconds for Tessia. They just need to press it and do damage onto literally anything in front of his line of sight, and it is going to be Raikou falling down to the damage. He's in angel form, but he's not going to be able to get any heals. Tessia's damage is too great, and Dobob takes game number 1.
The first game we see Echo play, and they actually lose. Now in Gamescom, they lost their first series against Sidhu's team, the Direwolves, but then they just clean sweep the rest of the bracket, and that's kind of push in on Raikou, and JT has 0 mana, but watch his Angel. He's probably just spamming it because he can't heal, so he's going to press it wherever he's located, but he moves in front of the pillar. And now we got 5 piece from Black Temple and not Hydra, but Black Temple, and then you got the off pieces that give you more of it from Sunwell, so I think it was just offset gear.
Yeah, it was the Slayer set.
Something like that. So Tessia and Raikou are just lobbing fireballs at each other while the rogues are waiting because they've got combat, so there's not going to be any opportunities for saps. Waz opens up. Brunhilde's going to try and open up here in a second. Cheap shot. Oh, is Waz going to peel him away? Raikou is just exploding. Tessia is exploding. Waz finally into the cheap shot, trying to slow down the game. These Phoenixes are having so much fun whenever they pop into the game. Just lobbing pyros at each other's opposite mages, basically, here. And I have been waiting for Sun Fury Mage the entire time. I was like, dude, I want to be Kael'thas. Like, I've been waiting the whole expansion, and this is finally the patch.
Yeah, this is finally the patch to see it happen, and you can see both mages like they're within one global of each other. Look at the DPS meter. Raikou first, Tessia first. Raikou first, Tessia first. It's just flip flopping every time somebody uses one pyroblast. That's how even the damage is. They're basically exactly pressing the same buttons. But Brunhilde getting Dragon's Breath Polymorph here. I don't think they have a dispel actually for this Polymorph. It looked like they dispelled the Dragon's Breath. Meanwhile, Tessia actually landing a full sheep onto JT, but no any big pressure coming out of that since Brunhilde was in that CC chain. Now here comes the damage a little bit onto Raikou, and gets kicked, gets interrupted, and Tessia actually fake casting the kick. Looks like they're doing a setup here, sheeping up Waz, looking for the Ring of Frost potentially as well onto JT. Doesn't look like they're gonna find it, but the smoke bomb comes out onto Raikou. He's gonna displace back out into the open field, but still not getting enough heals. JT is out of crowd control. Now it's gonna be Tessia on the back foot, taking a lot of damage there. Did he proc? It looked like he almost did, but he actually has a mass barrier talented as well, and he popped that mass barrier there as like a little mini defensive, which was actually enough there to keep him alive while Reza was sitting through that CC chain. Unfortunately for Raikou, that meteor is going to break his own polymorph. Reza's going to come out of crowd control, keep Tessia completely topped, and so far it seems like it's super hard for both of these teams to land crowd control onto the enemy priest. Ice wall being casted, killing spree from Waz onto Tessia, full blind onto JT, no follow-up. Ice wall though coming out.
Oh, the grip!
Nice grip by JT. Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, and just alters back to the other side of the wall so you can do damage immediately. There's a grip with alter. A little cheeky play, but there's a cheap shot. Setting up for a polymorph. It's on DR, but they still might be threatening. They get the Guardian Spirit. Now a cheap shot on Relza. Brunhilde and Kidney Shot. Beautiful setup from Echo right now. If they can get Cauterize off this or a block, they're going to get so far ahead. Doesn't look like that. Oh, they're going to go for blind. It's pushing it over the edge, and Relza does at least need to use a medallion. So the crowd control chains from Echo are a lot longer on Relza so far in this game, and you can see it's putting so much pressure. They get Cauterize immediately after the trinket. They get Ice Block immediately after that, and Echo are not pulling punches in game 2.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, JT in angel form, keeping Raikou alive, but I want to keep track of the mana because last time I feel like that's what it kind of came down to. Raikou might just actually have to ice block right here. Did he proc yet? No, there it is. Cauterize into the ice block, actually being forced. So much damage coming out there, and that wasn't even Tessia's combustion. What was that? That was just insane damage coming out from Brunhilde, I guess. Manages to get the big cooldown here. Now, maybe they actually have a win condition with a CC chain. If they can get something, they get a kidney shot onto JT. They're going for it. Tessia looking for the polymorph. Doesn't find it. Raikou holding that counterspell to the very, very last second. They manage to get the Ring of Frost. It gets death, though, by JT. Beautifully done there. JT is going to avoid all that CC and keep his trinket for later, which is exactly what they're going to... What? Did they just blind Raikou? Okay. Looks like they are going after Tessia here behind the pillar. Dead. It might be the... Well, okay, he's just dead.
You're dead. You're dead. I think they blinded him because they knew they were dead. They also was in a checkmate spot where I think if he even had trinket, if he trinketed, JT was just sitting on top of him to be able to fear him instantly. So it was like, okay, we got to do something to maybe prevent ourselves from dying there against them.
Broke that blind though.
Well, I mean, we'll see it in the replay. It was a long chain. I think it was something even before a blind, even at that point. I need to see it on the replay. So this is when they got the caught after the long CC chain on Relza. Then we saw Tessia just like solo Raikou and force his caught block, which is damage, which is this replay right here, I think. So this was the caught block force from Tessia. He must have hyperthermia. He's just shooting only pyroblasts at that point. And then right here, Relza's cheap shot. JT is there.
Oh, Raikou trinketed it.
Oh, Raikou just trinkets it. So, yeah, I mean, they both had trinkets. So what are you going to do is fourth, even amongst the Titans and the Legends and the newcomers down in the elimination bracket. But the gates are open. There is no going back at this point. We're in game number 3.
All right, let's see it. The cage is open. And right now, both teams just sitting back here, fishing for the rogue. No rogue wants to give the first opener here. I think both teams don't mind like a little bit of dampening, you know, in that first combustion as well. Both teams are just happy to sit here and fish. I like Brunhilde's position a lot more, actually. He's just completely just out of range of those flame strikes. Raikou can never actually land one. But at the same time, Brunhilde is going to be a little bit slower to react into an opener if Waz decides to do it. Looks like Waz actually wants to push in and look for a sap, but nope. Oh, he does get the sap there onto Tessia. Brunhilde now moving in a little bit as well, getting ready to peel Waz potentially here on his opener, but no. Brunhilde pulls the trigger first, full blind onto Relza. Brunhilde gets that cheap shot. This is the opener that both rogues don't want, right? You don't want to get cheap shot on your go. So Waz actually playing it patient there and manages to find that, and look at that damage onto Tessia, already pressing his greater invis. That's going to be the cauterize instantly triggered
4 million
in the
DPS,
opener. And Relza also trinketed there, Ice Wall already down. So much damage coming out from Raikou in this opener, and you see why both teams were so patient, because they know exactly how potent these RMP openers are.
Ooh, he clipped a smoke bomb with a cheap shot. But it doesn't look like it's too big of a deal here for Relza to be able to heal up. And I think Raikou got a combustion proc at the start and then chained that into his actual combustion. So he was able to do a remarkable amount of damage. And now he's got a polymorph with no trinket. That's a block. Master Spell is coming through as well. He cancels it to try and stop some CC. He knocks Raikou off the side and buys some time, but they're so far behind. They have basically nothing. They might just die to damage on this combustion that Raikou has in about one more second. If he is able to get out of a cheap shot here in the immediate future, he's popping it. He's just sending damage. He's just going for the win right now. In game number 3, Tessia blocks the kill with his barrier. A massive absorb effect there, but they've actually cut through the barrier. Raikou still has combustion. He's into a kidney shot. Doesn't look like he has blink at the moment. Waz has peeled Brunhilde away. JT and Relza going toe-to-toe. Raikou suddenly in trouble out of nowhere here, and just one chastise from the combustion of Tessia. But Raikou barriers here to absorb the hits. He rebuffs to protect his absorption effect as well there from the purges of the priest and the mage. Raikou Frost Nova Brunhilde dispelled into a big killing spree. It's not enough damage to take him down. JT is doing a great job holding him firm here in the center of the map. Shots on Raikou. Double fear just for peels. Full blind on JT, but he's able to sit through it. I feel like the blinds aren't getting value from Dobob. JT is able to sit through those windows, whereas whenever his blind is used against Relza, it's like everything is forced.
Yeah, well, but at the same time, I feel like on the side of Dobob, they need good offense. That's their best defense at this point. If they can land, if they just get one CC chain on the side of Echo, it's gonna be lights out. And they do. They get a full polymorph, but nice blast wave there. Good defensive plays. They don't want to trinket this because they know Waz has that blind available. If they trinket, it could just be lights out for Relza. Still in a chastise down, and there's the blind. He instantly trinkets that. So
cheap shot
doing a great job, but he gets cheap shot on trinket. Nice smoke bomb coming out, but Waz not patient enough there actually. Tessia blinking back into it. He got the swap, but he's gonna be enough.
Anyway.
Relza in angel form. Divine him coming out. I think he's got enough heals. He's spamming flash heals, big damage onto Raikou as well with that combustion from Tessia, but AT is managing to shrug it off. And once again, another big cooldown here used on the side of Dobob. One more setup. If they land one polymorph, it's game over. If they land one big CC chain onto Relza, they can take Tessia down, but look at JT. Manages to walk into the Ring of Frost and DR himself, which means that he can feel aggressive. He can play aggressive now. He knows he can't be polymorphed. He can go in and look maybe for, some CC chain with his team, but not able to find it just yet. Raikou blinking in, looking for the opener, but he's going to have to displace right back to his healer. Knows that he can't go aggressive, but here comes the setup. No, Brunhilde shuts it down. Beautiful kick right there.
All right. They have trinket on Brunhilde, kidney shot, and blind, so he can use a kidney shot and blind a trinket. Maybe he needs to think about doing that onto combustion here. He's in the chastise. Waz is trying to push in for the win right now. Tessia is wrapping around the corner. He gets to his barrier. He survives the combustion window, but now it's a hyperthermia window. Brunhilde's getting decent pressure on Raikou, trying to get his team back in the game, but Brunhilde is just getting gapped on damage. Tessia is starting to get gapped significantly on damage as well. Really, mana is the only thing holding them together at the moment. They've actually bought time to get to the ice block at least. They're making a swap on Brunhilde. Smoke bomb comes down from Waz, but it doesn't even force the trinket. You get absolutely nothing. Tessia got a nice blast wave, pushing him off the side. Raikou's repositioning with shifting power, but now a swap on Waz. Is he going to drop? Multiple cheap shots. He's got options. He's not going to have to trade any.
Nice shut down.
Plays it greedy. Beautiful peels. Raikou's at half, sitting in the midfield. It's Tessia. He's trying to get in position for an ice wall. Ice wall, did it come down here successfully? Raikou's the target, but Brunhilde's just getting peeled away. You can't get anything going in those polymorphs. Now into a chastise. Brunhilde finally grapples in. There's a Ring of Frost coming down on the pillar. Raikou's had to recast. He's just sending damage. He's got combustion available. Tessia doesn't have his for 20 seconds. They actually just forced Guardian Spirit. I think Raikou is just going to shove a ton of damage as soon as Relza's out of that angel form.
Yeah, but they've done it now on the side of Dobob. They have stalled successfully for the ice block, but meanwhile, Brunhilde almost gets blasted, has to trade out the cloak evasion. Tessia is also very low. JT tries to fade the cheap shot there, but Brunhilde does manage to find it. Big damage onto Raikou, forces away out of line, but then displaces back to his healer's line of sight there. Nicely done. Honestly, Raikou's been playing this game phenomenally so far, getting a lot of shutdown on these setups. Tessia also, likewise, could be forced into that ice block once again. Raikou finds the polymorph there, Waz kind of enabling his team there to go and get that DR follow-up. Now Tessia caught up in the chastise. He needs to try to find a polymorph, try to equalize the situation before he's back off DR, but I don't think he's going to be able to find it. He fake casts actually an interrupt there, looks for it, but nice position from JT. He's moving towards JT to try to maybe land something, but not going to be able to find it just yet. Now they have interrupts again, and instantaneously Tessia gets kicked. And now Reza in a kidney shot. Raikou gets polymorphed. So this is very crucial right here. But look at the fear. Reza tries to avoid the fear there with the Shadow of Death, but not going to be able to find it. But still, Tessia doing such a great job. Realizing that, okay, so Tessia just did a masterclass on Mage right there. He polymorphs the Mage while his healer's in a kidney shot. Then the enemy healer wastes his Shadow of Death, and then he takes that window to actually land a polymorph on the enemy healer. So Tessia doing a great job both defensively and offensively. They're trying to get Waz, but he manages to duck around the corner of that wall and get into the good graces of JT.
All right, Waz gets out of the fear, moving in. Crowd controlling the combustion. Here's the kidney shot. Tessia, no block. Is this going to be it in game 3? Big meteors cracking through. Tessia's line of sighting. Rel's the trinket's blind. He gets gouged on his trinket. JT's moving in. Gets the double fear. They're holding on. Waz is dead, though. He's been aggressive for too long. JT has to trinket and void shift. They managed to punish Waz for his aggression. Can he manage to keep up this pace? He still has his trinket, but no other cooldowns. He's caught in a cheap shot. He gets gripped away from the damage. Raikou is pushing in aggressively. Now Raikou could be isolated. Waz jumps right back in. The cheap shot, Brunhilde, peel him away and get back onto Tessia. That angel form is buying a little bit of time, but Relza is going to be exposed. They polymorph Waz. They're desperate. They fake the kicks. Relza's into the kidney shot. Raikou blast waves them off the side. Raikou's moving in for the win. He gets the polymorph with no trinket, and Waz is there, but he gets dismantled. Brunhilde is peeling everyone with this dismantle. The smoke bomb comes down defensively. Tessia line of sights for shifting power to get his barrier off cooldown. He's got combustion coming up in a second, but Brunhilde is dead out of nowhere. Here comes the combustion. Is Raikou ready? He barriers up. Brunhilde has to cloak. It is coming down to the wire, but Tessia doesn't have much to work with. He could just die to damage, but Raikou is exploding as well. He's critically low. JT tries to pull him out. Brunhilde gets feared away. He gets dispelled. Brunhilde's going in for the win. Can Brunhilde manage to do it? Can he do it? He's so close with these cheap shots. He needs a little bit more damage. The power blast comes in. It's not enough. They finally break the barrier. Maybe it will with the blind. They get a gouge of the blind. They need to get caught right now. How do they not get caught? They get caught. Can they get the block from Raikou? They have to get blocked right here. They're not getting it. JT holds it together, and now Tessia, he's 12 seconds, 10 seconds. He needs to stay alive. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Can Tessia stay alive for 8 seconds? Ring of Frost to block Waz from moving in. Raikou's going in. Double fear defensively, trying to peel them away. 1 more second away. They survive. Raikou gets pre-gripped on the wall. Waz is left behind, though. They're going to poke him a bit. But Tessia survives. His ice block available. Barrier available. Barriers. Here's the kidney shot. Probably going to be a block. Raikou still has his block. There's the block. Is there a Massive Spell? Massive Spell hits. Oh my god, the Trinket Void Shift comes in at the last second. Now JT in a Chastise. Raikou the target, but Combustion's up for both mages. It's going to be an explosive finish, Zico.
Yeah, who is going to take it? Both mages, no ice block, but they both just popped their combustions here, so this could just be it right now. Tessia so low. Raikou pushes in aggressively, tries to end it. Reza's in a cheap shot. Tessia with nothing left. Guardian is going to proc. He gets another heal actually right there, and Tessia somehow, some way, manages to stay alive for just a little bit longer. No Guardian on the opposite side for JT for another 5 seconds, but 5 seconds Raikou's might be enough here. Raikou might just die actually behind the pillar. JT with no mana left goes for the flash. Raikou blinks away. That's Guardian coming out. Raikou blinks back, tries to reset his cooldowns with shifting power, but is he going to be enough? Is he going to? The Dobob squad might have done it. He's on 1% HP, full blind, and they are swarming him. The smoke bomb comes through from Waz, but it's not enough.
He's gonna solo. He's gonna solo.
Takes game number 2. Nice grip there by Relza. Nice DB as well on the killing spree, and Waz and Echo are going to bow out. Dobob takes the lead in the series.
Oh my! I thought Waz was gonna solo him. I swear, if Tessia checked out, you know, like sometimes when you kill a target, you kind of check out like, oh, the game is over. I swear if he checked out at all, Waz was going to finish Brunhilde right there with Smoke Bomb Killing Spree at the last second. But Tessia did not check out. They're going to the absolute bitter end. Like, just watch how close this is for JT. His Guardian Spirit is 15 seconds away. That angel, the white angel underneath his frame, that's a major healing cooldown. It comes up with like 1 second left to save Raikou right here. He activates it right as it comes off cooldown. It buys Raikou a couple of seconds, and then he grips Raikou to the pillar to try and buy a couple of more seconds because he's got his other angel coming out. There's a lot of angels in Holy Priest. But then Waz, look at this. I swear.
Cage of Carnage, and they just can't be stopped. So we'll see here. Echo on match point right now. If they lose, they will be knocked down to the lower bracket. And if they win, we are going all the way to game 5 once again, actually. We'll see here if
Waz got popped.
Can make it. Oh, they take him out of stealth. Nice. Open on to Raikou still, though. They just cheap shot Waz into a polymorph. Try to get the setup. AT actually fearing Brunhilde, but he gets dispelled. Can Tessia find the polymorph? I think he will. Actually, he gets it. Big offensive setup here. Nice gouge onto Tessia here, shutting down the combustion. Waz is so annoying right now on that rogue. Blind not going to be available now onto JT since they extend the chain there with the Dragon's Breath. They share a DR, but still big opener here from Dobob, actually. But Echo responds accordingly.
Waz might be having a little bit of a harder time here. Dismantle on the mage there, so his peels, he's got to be lightning fast. But even in these types of situations, and he have a little bit of a misclick. And I feel like Dobob actually playing way better here in game number 4, which is not good for Echo. Like, look at this crowd control. They get a blind out of that. They're locking down JT for a much further amount of time. Tessia is still faking interrupts. He's looking for polymorph. He's not able to get it. He gets pulled to the pillar. He's just going to play defensive. Raikou fakes an interrupt, matching Tessia at this point in time. They're just trying to wait for their combustions. That's the big window of opportunity. If they can reset them a little bit faster and just survive to them. But then here comes a cheap shot. Beautiful setup by Dobob. That gets JT's medallion. They're playing so much better in game 4.
Yeah, that's beautiful. But JT could afford to do that because they don't have the blind right now. But still, it's going to be a scary moment in about a minute when Brunhilde gets that blind back. So we're going to have a big setup at that point. But Tessia has his combustion right now. So maybe they actually just go for another kidney sheep setup here. There it is. Kidney comes out, combustion. Maybe they just go for a kidney Dragon's Breath. Raikou's taking so much damage. And that is just going to be enough. Just with the kidney shot and that combustion. Huge pressure. Brunhilde with the killing spree gets gouged on the killing spree. Gets Dragon's Breath as well, actually. Nicely done there by Echo to shut down some of that damage. But they already had to trade out their big defensive. And I am really worried now for Echo because Brunhilde has blind in 25 seconds. If they have damage to combo with that, Raikou's just dead.
You're dead. It's match point, Echo. You're about to go down to the lower bracket right here. It's a kidney shot. No trinket. Where's the ring? Tessia gets stopped by Waz. Waz is doing whatever he can to try and stall out this game. Can he manage to do it? Dragon's Breath is there for Tessia. He gets a Ring of Frost with no trinket. Raikou's in trouble. He has greater invis. He's got a barrier. He might be able to hold on for a few more seconds. They have to stop the polymorphs. JT fades away. He gets the void shift off. He doesn't want to risk getting crowd controlled. And here come the combustions. Will they be able to get enough to win the game? Blind is coming up. It's available at any moment. Tessia has combustion in 9 seconds. They have to go now before JT gets a trinket. There's the cheap shot. They have to go now. Raikou can die. Where's the blind? There's the blind. No trinket. Can they finish him? Combustion is rolling, and Dobob might just do it. 3 seconds away from a trinket. 2 seconds away from a trinket. JT's in angel form at 1% on match point and cannot pull it off. Dobob have done it. 3-1 against Echo.
Bro, I'm just internally screaming, Tessia, what are you doing? Press your block offensive, bro. Send it. What are we doing here? But they still get the kill, despite Tessia actually getting peeled up for most of that kill window. It was just looking too clean, and it's just a side effect of what happened earlier. You know, we kind of called it out during the game. That blind was going to come up before the trinket. It was very scary. But then the fact that they also landed 2 setups before that point, where they're able to force out, you know, the Guardian, they're able to force out the Void Shift, even the Grip as well. Things like that definitely adds up as well when this moment happens here. And JT just gets stunned into a full blind, into a half kidney. And look at Tessia just sitting through the CC chain right now. I mean, yeah. And then eventually take it on mana for the most part. But then in the games where they were ahead, they were actually able to close it out as well. So,